So hi and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be tearing down the Np-01 Zygen here, show you what's inside it. We're going to strip it all back, start with the skates, and do a full teardown and weigh every little piece of it so you can understand what each bit weighs. Do things like measure the skates as well, so you can understand how thick they are, and basically show you what's inside. Starting off with the teardown here, you can see the screws that they use are triangular. I don't have this screwdriver, it must be maybe a different style. I haven't seen this before in any other mouse, normally the stars, or they're a torque drive, so it's unusual for them to use this screw here, but you can still get them off, as you see. A lot of people have said the skates are thin on this, and they are. These are 0.45mm, normally they're around 6 or 7mm, so they are a little bit low here compared to what you normally expect on a mouse. I'll go over my first impressions later in a different video, as well as a full review as well. We'll be doing some glide tests to see if this is really a problem. So you've got a few ribbon cables once you open it up here to take out, fairly easy. They're not clipped in, you just pull them out and push them back in. And taking a look at it here, it looks very similar to what you'd normally expect from something like the Zygen mouse. They do like they've got a bit of an exoskeleton here though, inside, which we'll try and open out as well. So I did forget to weigh each screw, so apologies for that. I also forgot to weigh the foot here, so we'll do that now. What I do like about this mouse is how good the left and right clicks are. They've got really low pre and post travel, so it's been good to see how they're constructed here. I can see they're also using star screwdrivers inside of the mouse here. Do you need a few screwdrivers you want to take this apart, or you can do what I did and just try and fudge it on the triangular screw for the base. Took me a minute here to understand how to take the skeleton out inside. It's a bit like a G Pro wireless in that terms, where it's got an inner skeleton hosting the buttons and things like that. Certainly there's a few more screws than most Zygen mouse. These people are part of the team that created the Zygen mice, hence you'll see some similarities here in this build. I realise here is I need to take out the front left and right button here once I've taken the screws out of it. So you've got the Hiwanu pink switches here for left and right. It's an unusual design here, different to the Zygen in terms of it hasn't got its own PCB where the switches are. Zygen ones generally have a split PCB, but they've embedded them here a bit like the G305 into the shell itself, really, with a little bit of a PCB. Once the exoskeleton's out, this is what the main shell looks like. the exoskeleton here. And you've got some smaller Hawano side switches which I've not seen before. A bit like on a G Pro wireless, they tend to have those smaller ones but they're on one. Again, they're connected via ribbon cable. And this is the exoskeleton with nothing else in it now, completely stripped. Looking at the PCB here, looks nothing really, no surprises here on this PCB, looks pretty straightforward. A lot of spring behind the scroll wheel here, so if you take it apart, make sure you don't lose that. It's got a bit of a razor kind of clip here at the front of the scroll wheel that kind of holds it in place. It's got the usual JTS connection here that you see on some Zygen mice and other mice where they've got the little connectors that you have to prise off. Make sure you don't snap them. The PCB's got some of these little rubber spacers on the base here for the lighting, for the base of the mouse. Got an optical scroll encoder like you see on Zygen mice, which I'm not particularly keen on. Other than that, it looks a pretty straightforward PCB. You get the base here, you've got some diffusers for the light, a few switches as well, and then the scroll wheel. So the scroll wheel here connects with a little bit of pressure at the front, like a hinge at the front, so a bit like a Razor Viper. One thing you'll notice here is very similar to the Zowie scroll wheel that you would see, where it's got the ball bearing in it, it's got 2 springs to create the tactile feedback. I'm certainly not a fan of these. It's one of the things I'd like to have seen changed on this mouse. As you can see, once taken apart, it's pretty much the same construction as a Zowie mouse. You could take one spring out to relieve the tactile feedback a bit if you wanted. I've done one of those mods before on the Zowie mouse and an S2. But for me, I would prefer definitely a different scroll wheel. And then like a noob, I realised I not took the front skate off, so I take the front skate off. It is kind of bubbling here, so these aren't coming off particularly easy. I thought they might come off a little bit easier, but they're a bit like the other Zowie feet, where they'll bubble, and you'll have to replace them usually. So just bear that in mind if you're taking them off. Front skates come at the same thickness. And that's it, the Np-01 Zygen stripped down. So hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my review when it comes out very soon. Check out my other videos for turned down mice. I'll see you very soon. Catch you later. Bye bye.